波音的创始人。1903年12月17日，莱特兄弟成功试飞了人类第一架飞机。但是在之后的数年中，飞机并没有像他们所期望的那样迅速被人们接受。11年后的1914年7月4日，美国西雅图正在举行盛大的国庆庆祝活动。当庆典达到高潮时，天空中忽然出现了一架飞机。对于这个难得一见的新鲜事物，人们顿时如痴如狂地昂首注目起来，他们又是鼓掌又是呐喊，气氛热烈异常。半小时后，飞行员拉马罗尼把飞机降落在举行庆典的广场上，走出机舱向公众们挥手致意。立刻，好奇心驱使人们如潮水般涌了过去。在天空上飞是什么感觉？悬在半空中你会不会感觉很难受？上不着天，下不着地好玩吗？听到大家七嘴八舌的问话，马罗尼微微一笑，清清嗓子大声喊道，既然大家都这么想知道在空中飞翔的滋味，那我就带你们到天上玩一圈吧，谁先来？听闻此言，众人立刻都噤若寒蝉，不敢应声了。马罗尼奇怪地扫视了周围一眼，又问了一遍。这次他话音刚落，一位青年便举着手喊了起来，我愿意跟你一起乘坐飞机。果然，几分钟后，这位青年便被马罗尼成功带上了天空，享受了千百年来几乎无人享受过的上天滋味。重新回到地面以后，青年久久不能忘怀在空中自由飞翔的美妙感觉，并由此对飞机产生了浓厚的兴趣，进而做起自己制造飞机的美梦来。不久之后，他找到好友维尔特，谈起自己想从事飞机制造业的意愿。碰巧自从那日观看了飞机表演后，维尔特正有此意，于是两人一拍即合，立刻买来廉价的木材，制造起飞机来。1916年，他们的第一架飞机浮筒式小木飞机被制造成功并试飞成功了。随后，他们在西雅图郊区成立了自己的太平洋航空产品公司，迈开了生产飞机的正规步伐。现在该告诉大家那位青年的名字了，他叫威廉·爱德华特·波音。他所创建的太平洋航空产品公司即是后来的波音公司。现在，波音公司已经成为全世界最大的飞机制造企业，它所生产的各种型号的波音飞机几乎已经飞遍了地球上的任何一个角落。而这都源于波音当初的那一句话，我愿意跟你一起乘坐飞机。大道理，新生事物被人们接受总是需要一个过程，但它只要能给人们带来益处，就早晚会被接受。如果你因为它陌生而拒绝，就等于把好机会拱手让人。
The founder of Boeing. On December 17, 1903, the Wright brothers successfully piloted the first airplane in human history. However, in the years that followed, airplanes were not quickly embraced by the public as the Wright brothers had hoped. 11 years later, on July 4, 1914, a grand celebration for Independence Day was being held in Seattle, USA. Just as the festivities reached their peak, a plane suddenly appeared in the sky. The crowd, fascinated by this rare sight, became ecstatic, gazing upwards in awe. Cheers and applause erupted, and the atmosphere was electric. Half an hour later, the pilot, Maroney, landed the plane in the square where the celebration was taking place. He stepped out of the cockpit and waved to the crowd. Immediately, driven by curiosity, the people surged forward like a tide. What does it feel like to fly in the sky? Do you feel uncomfortable hanging in midair? Is it fun being neither here nor there? Hearing the flood of questions, Maroney smiled, cleared his throat, and shouted loudly, since everyone is so eager to know what it feels like to fly, how about I take you up for a ride? Who wants to go first? Upon hearing this, the crowd fell silent, no one daring to respond. Maroney, puzzled, looked around and asked again. This time, just as he finished speaking, a young man raised his hand and shouted, "I'm willing to ride with you on the plane." Sure enough, a few minutes later, this young man was taken into the sky by Maroney, experiencing the thrill of flying, a sensation few had ever enjoyed before. After returning to the ground, the young man was captivated by the exhilarating experience of soaring through the air. This newfound passion for airplanes sparked a dream in him to build his own planes. Not long after, he sought out his friend, Westervelt, and shared his desire to enter the aircraft manufacturing industry. Coincidentally, Westervelt had been thinking the same thing since watching the flight demonstration that day. The two immediately hit it off and soon bought cheap wood to start building planes. In 1916, they successfully built and flew their first aircraft, a small seaplane made of wood. Following this, they established their own company, Pacific Aero Products Co. in the suburbs of Seattle, thus beginning the formal production of airplanes. Now, it's time to reveal the name of that young man. He was William Edward Boeing, and the Pacific Aero Products Co. he founded later became the Boeing Company. Today, Boeing has become the largest aircraft manufacturer in the world. Boeing aircraft of various models now fly to nearly every corner of the globe. And all of this traces back to one sentence Boeing once said, "I'm willing to ride with you on the plane." Moral: it always takes time for new things to be accepted by people. But as long as they bring benefits, they will eventually be embraced. If you reject them just because they are unfamiliar, you might miss out on great opportunities.